gmna uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening. This hour we're covering a 17-person bust in Burbank as part of the statewide retail theft sweep, plus the grand reopening of that historic downtown theater after a $40 million renovation, and a quick heads up on minor traffic delays from construction. Over to you, Bennett.
The historic Los Angeles Theater, a century-old landmark on Broadway, is reopening today after a $40 million renovation that restored its original marble facade and ornate plasterwork.
The venue, which first opened in 1923, now features a refurbished auditorium with 600 seats, upgraded lighting, and a new state-of-the-art sound system.
Community leaders plan a free opening night concert featuring local jazz ensembles, followed by a historic film screening to celebrate the theater's revival.
Lots to get to. Let's begin our evening with this celebration, and more stories ahead as we dive into the news. Here are our top stories. 17 suspects were arrested in Burbank during a 3-day summer blitz operation targeting retail theft, an effort by Burbank Police, the Los Angeles Organized Retail Crime Association, and the California Highway Patrol. Noel Kirkpatrick has the full story.
Police in Burbank announced the capture of 17 suspects during a 3-day summer blitz aimed at organized retail theft. The coordinated sweep, running from August 11th through 13th, involved the Burbank Police Department, the Los Angeles Organized Retail Crime Association, and the California Highway Patrol's Organized Retail Crime Task Force. Officers moved across multiple retail sites, from large chain outlets to smaller neighborhood shops, executing search warrants and making arrests as part of a statewide campaign to break up theft networks. Authorities confirmed the suspects will face charges related to organized retail theft. The operation adds to a broader statewide effort to dismantle theft rings that target shoppers across California. Noel Kirkpatrick, GMNA News, Burbank.
Actor Josh Hutcherson spent Tuesday at the SPCA Los Angeles shelter in Long Beach, where he rolled up his sleeves, walked several dogs, and spent time with kittens. The visit, part of a push to raise awareness of adoption options, saw the star volunteer alongside shelter staff, handling animals and sharing his own love of pets. Hutcherson's presence drew a small crowd of volunteers and prospective adopters, who said the celebrity's enthusiasm helped spotlight the shelter's need for permanent homes. SPCA Los Angeles officials noted that high-profile visits can boost visibility for the hundreds of animals waiting for families. The actor emphasized that every rescued pet deserves a chance, encouraging Angelenos to consider adoption over buying from breeders. The shelter plans to continue leveraging community support as it works toward full capacity throughout the year.
At roughly 4 p.m. this afternoon in the 8600 block of Foothill Boulevard, Sunland, a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy discharged his firearm at a dog. The incident unfolded on a quiet residential stretch of Foothill Boulevard. The incident, captured by News Chopper 4, prompted a rapid response from the Los Angeles Fire Department. Deputies and firefighters arrived on scene, and video from the scene shows at least one person being taken to a hospital for treatment. The Sheriff's Department confirmed the deputy's involvement and said an investigation is underway. LAFD officials said the dog was struck and the animal's condition remains unknown. No further injuries were reported, and traffic on Foothill Boulevard was briefly rerouted while crews cleared the area. Authorities are urging anyone with additional information to contact the sheriff's office.
A new county report warns the proposed Paramount Skydance and Warner Bros. Discovery merger could endanger roughly 4,500 film and television jobs and billions in regional economic activity. Wesley Tran has the full story.
The Los Angeles County Department of Economic Opportunity and the County Film Office say the pending Paramount Skydance, Warner Bros. Discovery merger could jeopardize roughly 4,500 film and television positions in the region. Their analysis, released the week of August 20, 2026, notes 10,360 job years at risk and projects billions of dollars in regional economic activity could be lost over a 3-year span. The report indicates the consolidation may reduce employment and output across the local entertainment ecosystem, affecting production crews, post-production services, and related support roles. The study quantifies the industry's contribution to the county's economy and outlines potential uncertainty from the merger. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Residents of Victor Heights are voicing growing frustration as a popular hilltop street, famed for its sweeping city vista, is now packed with visitors. The neighborhood, tucked between downtown and Echo Park, has seen a steady surge of foot traffic since word spread that the thoroughfare offers one of the best panoramic views of Los Angeles. Homeowners say the crowds are spilling onto sidewalks, creating noise, litter, and safety concerns for families and seniors. Local officials have been approached for possible crowd control measures, but no concrete plan has been announced. Community groups are organizing petitions and meeting with the city council to seek a balance between public enjoyment of the landmark and preservation of neighborhood quiet. The situation remains ongoing as the street continues to draw tourists and Instagram enthusiasts throughout the day. Up next, a dirt bike rider led police on a high-speed chase through downtown, and we'll break down that wild pursuit. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. Police say a young man on a dirt bike sparked a high-speed chase through downtown Los Angeles this morning. Officers responded to a call about a rider weaving between surface streets, and the suspect continued the pursuit while speaking on a phone and pausing to refuel at a convenience store. LAPD units have been tracking the rider as he darts past the Financial District, the Arts District, and near the Civic Center, forcing officers to navigate the same congested corridors. The pursuit has prompted lane closures on the 124th and the 170th, slowing commuter traffic across the core. Witnesses reported the rider performing sharp turns near the historic Theater District, endangering cyclists and pedestrians alike. The chase remains active, with detectives coordinating with traffic control to block intersections and protect pedestrians. Authorities say the rider is attempting to evade arrest, and no injuries have been reported so far.
Lineage Logistics reports cleaning out food waste at its Boyle Heights cold storage warehouse, achieving a 101.8% target set after a fire 2 months ago. Wesley Tran has the full story.
Firefighters cleared the charred aisles of the cold storage facility on the corner of First and Lorna, and today the site looks remarkably clean. After a blaze 2 months ago, Lineage Logistics pledged to remove every trace of food waste from the warehouse. Inspectors walked the rows, noting that the company has actually exceeded its own target, pulling out roughly 101.8% of the waste it set out to collect. Residents who were warned about the cleanup say the debris piles have vanished, and the building's exterior is being repainted. The effort wraps up the deadline the operator gave the neighborhood after the fire. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Boyle Heights.
Long Beach police confirmed a violent incident at Woodrow Wilson High School this morning. Officers arrived on the 4400 block of East 10th Street shortly before noon after receiving a report of an assault involving a deadly weapon. School staff administered medical care to a male juvenile student who was wounded in the attack. The victim was transported to a nearby hospital for further treatment, while police secured the scene and began an investigation. No additional injuries were reported, and authorities have not released details about the weapon used. The investigation is ongoing, and detectives are reviewing surveillance footage and interviewing witnesses. Parents were notified of the situation, and the school announced a temporary lockdown was lifted after safety officers cleared the area. No arrests have been made at this time.
Residents of Boyle Heights are still grappling with the aftermath of a massive warehouse blaze that ripped through the neighborhood last month. A community-led health survey released yesterday documented that hundreds of locals have suffered a range of symptoms, from persistent coughs and shortness of breath to skin irritation and headaches. Advocates say the findings point directly to toxic smoke and particulate matter released when the structure collapsed, exposing families to hazardous chemicals. The survey, conducted by a coalition of neighborhood groups and public health volunteers, compiled responses from dozens of households across the area. City officials have not yet released an official health advisory, but the data has spurred calls for air quality testing and medical outreach. The fire, which destroyed the warehouse on the corner of First and Evergreen, remains a focal point for ongoing community health concerns.
Songwriter Diane Warren rescued a stray pig named Wilbur after neighbors reported the animal sprinting through West Hollywood streets. The animal now lives at her residence. Camilla Ariola has the full story.
At a modest house on Sunset Boulevard, songwriter Diane Warren opened her front door to a frightened pig that had been darting through the quiet streets of West Hollywood. Neighbors reported seeing the animal, a pink-skinned sow they called Wilbur, bolting past parked cars and garden fences just before the songwriter arrived. Warren, known for her chart-topping ballads, knelt down, coaxed the animal with gentle words, and offered a bowl of water before bringing the pig inside. She said she couldn't let the creature wander the streets any longer and will keep it as a pet. The community gathered briefly, watching the rescue unfold on the quiet block. Camilla Ariola, GMNA News, West Hollywood.
Now let's check in with our meteorologist for tonight's outlook across the valley.
A strengthening high over the basin is quelling the lingering sea breeze, leaving clear skies into tonight. On this date, the all-time high sits at 90 degrees, recorded in 2021 during an early season heat wave that pushed the coastal plain into the mid-90s. The record low is 51 degrees, set in 2020 when a rare Arctic surge slipped through the mountain passes, dumping cold air into the valley. By comparison, the climatological average high hovers around 84 degrees and the average low near 62, so today's temperatures sit squarely between the historic extremes. Those benchmarks remind us how a modest ridge can keep the city comfortably warm without flirting with record-breaking heat. Zooming into the live radar, the screen is virtually blank, no rain echoes across the basin. The lack of echoes confirms a dry, stable column under the high pressure that's been building all day. With the jet stream carving a gentle southerly flow aloft, any moisture is being sheared eastward, leaving Los Angeles under clear skies for the rest of the evening. At 6 p.m., the city sits at 84 degrees with mostly clear skies and a light west wind around 7 miles per hour. A high-pressure ridge is strengthening, pressure is rising, and the jet stream overhead streams south-southwest at 34 miles per hour, capping any ascent and keeping the air mass shallow. That same ridge will hold temperatures near the day's high of 88 before slipping into the low 60s after sunset, which will fall at 7:34. The UV index remains at 10, but with no clouds or moisture, the night will stay dry. No watches or warnings are in effect. Shifting now to the extended outlook tonight. Looking ahead, Friday brings a clear sky and a high of 93 degrees with lows in the mid-60s as the ridge deepens. Saturday climbs to 99 degrees, the first 99 of the season, while nighttime remains comfortable in the mid-60s. Sunday and Monday both peak at 100 degrees, matching the seasonal maximum, but dew points climb into the mid-70s, hinting at a more humid feel despite the sunshine. Tuesday pushes the heat further to 102 degrees, before dipping to a low of 75 at night. No precipitation is expected through the period, and no alerts are active, so the pattern stays dry and hot from Friday through Tuesday. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Later we'll dive into traffic snarls from construction, preview the century-old theater's reopening, and rank most clutch Super Bowl players. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Tonight's biggest slowdown comes from nightly closures on the connector ramps to State Route 126. Both eastbound and westbound ramps are shut from midnight to 6 a.m., forcing drivers onto surface streets like Ventura Boulevard and the 101 freeway. A similar nightly closure hits the connector to State Route 14, redirecting traffic onto Sierra Highway and the Antelope Valley Freeway. On Wilshire Boulevard, D-Line subway construction continues to shrink the westbound lane between Fairfax and Wilshire Center, adding a few minutes to trips between downtown and the Miracle Mile. Aside from those projects, the network runs relatively smoothly, with no accidents and only minor delays from routine work. Expect the usual evening rush to stay steady, but allow extra time if you're heading to the San Fernando Valley or the western suburbs. That's the traffic outlook for this afternoon.
Los Angeles, historic Paramount Theater throws open its doors again after a $40 million renovation, restoring the Art Deco splendor that has anchored downtown for a century. This revival means more live music, film screenings, and community events right in the heart of the city. Next week, KCON 2026, the world's biggest K-pop festival, will take over the Los Angeles Convention Center, promising not just chart-topping performances but panels, fashion, and a full pop culture immersion for fans of all ages. This week, the California Record Fair rolls into the Los Angeles Convention Center with the largest vinyl lineup ever, giving collectors and DJs a chance to hunt rare pressings and spin the night away on all vinyl decks. Finally, downtown's Broad Museum launches its free exhibition, Has the Myth Been Shattered? Confronting mass media and memory with more than a dozen new works, a must-see for anyone curious about how images shape our world. And now here's Terrence with sports.
Tonight's lineup dives into clutch legends, Rams drama and Dodgers pitching grind. The new Super Bowl clutch player ranking isolates 15 athletes whose fourth-quarter heroics rewrote the championship script, separating flash-in-the-pan winners from true game changers. For fans, the list offers a fresh lens on legacy debates and a preview of who to watch when the next big stage arrives. Stetson Bennett remains the Rams' top backup behind Matthew Stafford, but his trade value has risen as the Browns eye a proven, game-managing quarterback. A move would push Ty Simpson into the second spot, tighten the Rams' depth chart, and give Cleveland a ready-made answer to any injury at the helm. Kyle Tucker's numbers at Dodger Stadium have plummeted, contrasting sharply with his road-level production. The slump threatens the Dodgers' middle-of-order firepower at home, forcing the front office to consider lineup tweaks or a role reassessment before the playoff push intensifies. The Rams' recent overseas outings have produced winning results, and the upcoming Australia clash with the 49ers adds another long-haul test. Success abroad bolsters the franchise's global brand, while the travel demands will test depth and conditioning as the regular season looms. Aaron Donald's lingering hints of a comeback keep Rams fans buzzing, yet a prolonged retirement could eclipse his Hall of Fame resume. Returning now would demand elite conditioning, but staying idle risks eroding the aura built on relentless dominance, a dilemma the franchise must weigh carefully. Dodgers pitchers logged 13 consecutive days, emerging 8-5 but exposing a rotation in transition. The grind highlighted bullpen fatigue and spot starter uncertainty, signaling that manager Dave Roberts must solidify roles before the postseason, or risk a collapse under sustained pressure. Stay tuned as the season's storylines keep unfolding across L.A.
Thanks, Terrence. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Hospital in Willowbrook just secured a $32 million infusion from Kaiser Permanente. The partnership brings a $25 million grant to expand emergency services and a loan of up to $7 million for modular building capacity, giving the facility the resources to stay open and modernize. After years of financial strain and looming Medicaid cuts, the hospital can add new trauma bays, upgrade its imaging suite, and create flexible spaces for community health programs. That means faster, more reliable care for families a few blocks away and a stronger safety net for a neighborhood that has long depended on this institution. Keeping MLK Hospital thriving is a step toward a healthier Los Angeles for everyone. Stay tuned as a Pasadena postal workers clash with a peacock sparks outrage, and deer crash on 405 unfolds next. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. Pasadena residents are outraged after a Postal Service employee was captured throwing a rock and swinging a club at a neighborhood peacock, prompting criticism from the Postal Service and the Pasadena Humane Society. Wesley Tran has the full story.
Video shows a postal employee on a quiet Pasadena street late Thursday night, 2026, August 20, hurling a stone at a roaming peacock before brandishing a wooden club and striking at the bird. Bystanders can be heard shouting as the animal retreats, feathers ruffled. The United States Postal Service released a statement saying the employee will be placed on administrative leave while an investigation proceeds. The Pasadena Humane Society arrived within minutes, taking the injured bird for veterinary care and urging residents to report any further mistreatment. Neighbors gathered, expressing disbelief and demanding accountability, while local officials promised a thorough review. The incident adds to ongoing concerns about wildlife safety in residential areas. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Pasadena.
A deer was struck and killed on the 405 freeway near Sherman Oaks during the early morning hours, adding to the ongoing nighttime wildlife collision concerns across Southern California. Wesley Tran has the full story.
An early morning crash left a deer dead on the northbound 405 near Sherman Oaks, as a sedan traveling at speed struck the animal just after midnight. First responders arrived on scene around 1 a.m., confirming the animal was beyond help and clearing the lane to restore traffic flow. The impact left the vehicle with minor front-end damage, but no injuries were reported among the driver or passengers. Officials noted that nighttime deer crossings remain a common risk on Southern California freeways, especially during the cooler hours when wildlife is most active. Motorists are urged to stay alert during these periods, as visibility can change quickly on open stretches of highway. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Sherman Oaks.
Thank you, Los Angeles, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight's highlight was Josh Hutcherson's visit to the Long Beach shelter, reminding us how a simple act can spark hope. We appreciate you staying informed, and we'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to our city.